Episode 5 of The Burning Girls begins with Mike confronting Simon with the truth about his ancestors not being martyrs and his entire wealth being built on a lie. Mike is going to publish a report to this effect. Emma encourages Simon to get ahead of the matter, but he writes her suggestions off. For Jack, it is a big day. She will be delivering her first sermon to the congregation. But she has no inkling of the evil that looms large with every passing second. The mystery man, who slept the night off in an older couple's barn, murders them when he is spotted in their house. And he makes his way to Chapel Croft but does not engage Jack, yet. Before Jack can begin the sermon, Simon gets up on the altar and heeds Emma's advice. He comes out in the open about the forthcoming news piece and lies about his ignorance of the facts about his ancestors. He asks for forgiveness, and even Jack supports his act, indirectly. After the sermon is over, Joan Hartman calls him out in front of everyone. She not only calls him a liar but also a murderer. She thinks Simon murdered Reverend Fletcher because he learned the truth about his ancestors. Jack shepherds her away from the crowd of onlookers as Simon looks tense. In a flashback, we see Pauline worriedly going to Mary's home where she is still tied up. Judith lies to Pauline about her and Joy. Jacob, whom Mary had earlier promised she would protect him always, is too scared to untie his sister, even though he knows that what's happening is wrong. In arguably one of the most emotionally charged scenes of the show, Aaron knocks at Jack's door, saying he wants to confess. When he was 7, Aaron saw his father arrive at the house in the dead of the night with all his clothes covered in blood. The police have now found Marcia's DNA on Grady's body and the graves, suggesting he is the murderer. Aaron tearfully confesses his own sins as well. It is revealed he was in love with Fletcher. Since the Bible views homosexuality as a sin, Aaron feels this is why God has abandoned him. Jack tries to calm him, saying that God is everywhere and watching over them at all times. He must be patient and keep listening, something Jack has herself done in her darkest moments. Flo takes off for Henfield that evening with Wrigley, as Jack stays alone at home. On her way, Flo encounters the mystery man who starts following her. Flo is going to Mary's house, Wrigley and her usual place. He has set up the entire house with candles to make the mood romantic. As they're kissing, Flo hears some noise downstairs. Wrigley goes out to check but doesn't come back for some time. Flo follows and is bagged by Tom, with Rosie standing by him, laughing. They have thrown Wrigley into the well, although he is alright. But before they can do any damage, the mystery man confronts them and they run away. To our surprise, he does not harm Flo, gives her a hug, and runs away. Back at home, Jack goes through Flo's developed pictures and is horrified to see she has visited Mary's house. She reaches the spot as Flo and Wrigley call the police. He also found a skull in the well, which might belong to Mary or Joy. When they're back home, Flo tells Jack about the mystery man and Jack takes a knife from the kitchen to keep by her bedside for security. The next morning, Simon almost tears down Jack's door as he furiously confronts her about Flo's accusations. He warns Jack about Wrigley and what he did at his last school. He also says that Rosie will always have an alibi, rejecting Jack's claims that Rosie is seriously disturbed. Flo reads up on Wrigley's crimes and finds an article by Mike. He confirms Wrigley burnt the school down but did not intentionally restrain the girl in the cupboard. Mike also vouches for Wrigley's character. When he mentions he is staying with his aunt, Saffron Winter, Jack immediately leaves to see her. When she gets there, apparently no one is home. But the back door is open and Jack gets inside. The house is unkempt and dirty, like no one has been living in it for a while. She follows a strong stench to the bedroom upstairs, where Saffron's body is rotting in the bed. Wrigley knocks Jack unconscious in the same room and the episode ends. The episode review: what I don't understand is why Flo would agree to go back to the haunted house? I mean, what sort of intellect does one need to know to stay away from a place like that? Wrigley's anti-hero act was forthcoming. We had long anticipated that he wasn't the sweet, unassuming boy Flo had made him out to be. Well, at least Mike knows where Jack had gone, and perhaps Wrigley is going for Flo next. The writing has been a little shoddy this past 2 episodes. The storytelling hasn't been the same either, even as we stand on the brink of an exciting finale with answers galore. Is the mystery man Jack's son? Could it be true? Chapel Croft did not turn out to be as sinister as a Mike Flanagan small-town setting after all. We must tip our hat to David Dawson, who had his shining moment in the episode. Aaron's confessions served the story well but needed better prefacing. Dawson's honesty and sincerity of emotions really reached out from the screen as Morton played the perfect foil.